Hey guys, Hal here coming at you with another movie review. Thank you for clicking on this video and welcome back to the channel. Today's an exciting one for me because we're going to be jumping back into the DeLorean, but where we're going today, we don't need roads. Well, kind of. We're going to be diving into the iconic sequel that is Back to the Future Part 2. So let's get to it. So Back to the Future Part 2 is once again directed by Robert Zemeckis and written by Zemeckis and Bob Gale. This movie picks up right where the original left off, but it also takes us on a wild ride through time, space, and the future. Let's break down why Back to the Future Part 2 is still one of the best sequels ever made and how it expanded the legacy of the series. So, as I mentioned in my previous Back to the Future movie review, this is my favourite trilogy of all time, and Back to the Future Part 2 was where it all started for me. I had this and the third one on VHS and I watched them back to back. Not only did it introduce me to time travel, but it introduced me to alternate timelines and how one mistake can have a ripple effect throughout time. It also introduced me to bumping into your other self and the consequences of that. So let's dive into the plot. So Back to the Future Part 2 starts exactly where we left off in the first one, and the DeLorean is once again the vehicle of choice for time travel. Marty McFly and Doc Brown find themselves jumping from 1985 to 2015. The premise is pretty simple. Marty McFly's future son is about to get arrested and Marty needs to stop that from happening, which leads them to make a series of missteps across timelines. So not only do Doc and Marty have to travel to 2015 to correct future mistakes, what I love is that then because of mistakes that they create in that timeline, they then have to travel back to 1955 again to correct past mistakes, all due to the interference of Biff Tannen stealing the DeLorean and the almanac and then going back and changing the 1955 timeline. I mean, it's just absolutely amazing storytelling. I have no idea where they thought of this stuff because it blew my mind as a kid. And to be honest, even when I stick it on now, it still does. The fact that this film plays with a closed-loop time travel narrative is what makes it even more fascinating. It's not about time travel just for the sake of adventure. It's about how the smallest change can have the most monumental consequences. Back to the Future Part 2 gets me thinking about fate, consequences, and how every decision has a ripple effect. So let's discuss our beloved characters and performances as Michael J. Fox returns in his role as Marty McFly, and he effortlessly slips back into the role. He's as charming as ever. And what's great about him in this one as well is that he actually has to interact with older versions of himself, as well as the 1955 Marty to the future version of himself. And it really does show how good Michael J. Fox's range is, because he can play this older gentleman who can't play the guitar anymore, and also the way he can interact with himself or avoid interacting with himself in 1955. It's actually amazing how well we can bring these variations of the same character to life. He's got his future son and he's also got his older self in 2015, and he just nails both of them, but in of the same character, but in just different ways. So you've also got Christopher Lloyd, who returns as Doc Brown. And what's great about it in this one is that he has even more screen time. And I have to say, he steals every scene that he is in. He's absolutely fantastic. And what I love is that it's Marty McFly and Doc Brown, and it's their chemistry that's the real heart of this trilogy. And it certainly shines through in this one. One of my highlights of Back to the Future Part 2 is, of course, its vision of the future. Released in 1989, the film set its sights on 2015. And while we may not have flying cars or hoverboards or self-lacing shoes just yet, there's still something undeniably charming about how the movie envisioned it. It's a perfect mix of optimism and the near fantastical technology that captured people's imaginations. The production design here is outstanding as well. The filmmakers really did make you believe that this world was lived in and believable, whilst also making it feel really quite fun and outlandish. There's one of my favourite scenes that I always quote, actually, is they are clearly sponsored by Black & Decker, because there's a part where Marty McFly's future grandmother, Lorraine, is going to cook this little Pizza Hut pizza in this Black & Decker little cooker, and just before she puts it in, it's all tiny, and she goes, "Hydrate level 4, please," and then puts it and it bubbles away, and then it comes out massive. And they just use all these different little things that make you think that the technology that's going to be in 2015 is going to be extra special and grand, and but also add this comedy to it as well. The way they've got the fruit that comes down above their dining room table, watching TV through their glasses. There's just so many things that not only probably inspired what we made today, but like there's things that didn't work so well. Like you've got the two ties that didn't quite take off, but they pushed that in this film. And of course, this film also thought up of the iconic hoverboard, which I am still bloody waiting for. I would love one. Don't get me wrong. If they existed, I'd probably get on it and absolutely bail on it. But I've had this replica one for years. And yes, I like looking at it, but it doesn't cut it. I need it to be flipping floatable. And to be honest, I actually would want one that was pink. I've just absolutely love it. And yeah, talking about the hoverboard, we can't forget then the iconic hoverboard scene, which is absolutely thrilling and fun as ever. And it also has like this nostalgia because of the very first one on him going around on the skateboard in the 50s. So it's just absolutely great stuff. As I said previously, it was Back to the Future Part 2 that introduced me to time travel. And what it does brilliantly is explore the complexity of time travel without bogging down the narrative in confusing exposition. This movie operates on a set of rules. Don't mess with the past. Don't run into yourself, and avoid alternate timelines at all costs. But then it also takes the opportunity to twist them and show you just how easily things can get out of control. One of the most interesting themes in this movie is the idea of the multiverse, how one small change in the timeline can create an entirely different future. Biff's acquisition of the Sports Almanac is the catalyst for an alternate 1985, where he's in charge, and this sends the plot into a wild chain reaction that becomes harder to undo the more they tamper with the past. It's a classic case of be careful what you wish for. So I think Back to the Future Part 2 really does stand the test of time, because it's not all just about its futuristic gadgets and its mind-bending time travel paradoxes, but it's because it expands on the first one and builds on the world, and it's a fun, thrilling adventure, and it really did have an everlasting impact on pop culture. What from the hoverboard craze to the popularisation of time travel in films, Back to the Future Part 2 really did seal its place in pop culture history. It might not have had the same critical acclaim as the original, but its legacy has endured. And for many fans, and especially for me, it is a quintessential 80s sci-fi adventure. So when Back to the Future Part 2 was originally released, I'm sure most of the questions that were asked were, does it live up to the original? And my controversial opinion is that I actually believe it surpasses it. I really, really do. It's fun, it's imaginative, it introduces us to way more different time travel timelines and alternate realities. While the future imagined may have not yet come to pass just yet, the energy and heart of the film are absolutely timeless. I mean, how cool is the scene where Marty McFly has eventually arrived back in 1955 to try and correct their mistakes, and he's at the Enchantment Under the Sea dance hiding from Biff's goons, and then you've got the original Marty McFly from the first film on stage playing Johnny Be Good, and they kind of spliced the scenes together because you've got Marty McFly trying to avoid his other self, and then he's climbing up the ladder, going across the stage, all the while the original ones on stage playing Johnny Be Good. It's just absolutely amazing, and I was mind blown as a kid watching this. I just absolutely loved the storytelling. It's just quality. And then you've got the eventual ending, which is probably one of my favourite endings of any film. The part where you've got Doc Brown, he's just sent the original Marty McFly back to the future, and then the music kicks in, and then you've got Marty McFly running around the corner in his leather jacket. He runs up to Doc and says to him, "I need your help." And Doc's like, "No, it can't be. I've just sent you back to the future." And he's like, "No, I'm back from the future." I mean, it's goosebumps. And I can only imagine that when being in the cinema and that happened, Doc passes out and it says "to be concluded," I just don't know. I wouldn't have known what to do. I'd have genuinely would not have known what to do, because I think they did film this one and Back to the Future Part 3. They then give you where the story's going. To be honest, I think it would have been better if they just didn't show that and you had no idea what was coming next, because it is just an absolute amazing ending to that film. So anyway, that's been my review. I really do hope that you've enjoyed it, because it's been a blast for me. I mean, I could talk about this film for hours and hours, so maybe I'll do more another day. But yes, if you've enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, comment in the comment section below. Hit that notification bell if you want to see more, because when this baby hits 88 miles per hour, you're going to see some serious